Hi Aries, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here for your August 2016 monthly tarot reading. These readings, I've already done quite a few, have been pretty powerful. It's been the energy of like a positive midlife crisis. Like instead of just having this like reaction to things, it's more like really just thinking about where you are and where you want to go, and sort of everything being on the table, everything being up for consideration of change, like you to really start living more authentically, like changing careers, changing where you live, changing partners, really just not allowing fear or negative thinking, or that high priestess has come up in that position so many times. Really just considering all possibilities, just turning everything on its head and looking at everything with fresh eyes, from a fresh perspective. And it's been pretty cool. Oh yeah, wow, you have the Star and the Fool in the spiritual category. That's phenomenal. They've been really good cards too, really positive cards. This hasn't come out in a while, but it was coming out for the first few readings. So it's all about finding your life purpose, that thing which feeds your soul, that where you feel really present and absorbed in what you're doing, that all your worries and everything just melts away. It's meditative. It's what centers you and grounds you and makes your anxiety melt away and such. So that's an underlying theme, something that you want to cultivate. And then you have the Justice card, bringing things into balance. Bringing your life into balance, making sure that you're being fair to yourself and others. And if that's not happening, making changes so you are being fair to others, or you're putting up boundaries and taking steps so that you are not in a situation where you feel like you're compromising or compromised in some way. Bringing your life into balance. How are you going to bring your life into balance? And you have Justice again. So it's not only an underlying theme, it's a focus as well. Sticking up for yourself. Really making the changes so that you're living, your head and your heart match, your thoughts and your actions match. That you're being fair to others and yourself. So children children can be in focus, but this really is a card about simplifying, stopping and smelling the roses. Yeah, really taking life at the bare bones, the simplest, breaking it down to the simplest parts, and figuring out which parts are essential and that is worth cultivating and working on and keeping, and everything else can just fall away. It's like putting sand or dirt into one of those sifters, and the big important pieces will stay in the pan, and everything else will just sift through and fall away. All the unnecessary clutter, and just the important chunks, our family, our spirit, or things that feed our soul and our happiness, how we live our lives and treat each other and treat ourselves, and those, what are the big chunks that stay? Maybe what stays is money and yourself and your things. Well, why were the other things, like your family or your health or whatever, why were those things so little that they fell through? And examining what's left, and is what's left what your priorities are those really what you want your priorities to be? So really breaking things down into the simplest elements and making sure that those are the most important elements, and then focusing on what is, and how to if things that you say are important to you are much smaller than things that shouldn't be important, how to balance that out, how to bring that into the right you know what I'm trying to say. I'm losing the, I can't think of the word. Like, it's interesting. You have justice over there, and then you have this temperance and justice together. They're so similar. Mixing and matching. Okay. So in the career category, you have the Two of Swords and the High Priestess. So the High Priestess has been coming up, and this is that gut feeling, those little thoughts that sort of creep to the surface about, I would love to teach kids soccer, but that I can't do that. I need benefits. I have this good job. I went to school for this job. I've climbed the ladder. I've been doing this for years. I can't change careers. Oh, I would love to be a yoga instructor. I would love to have my own business. Oh, you can't do that. You can't start a business in this economy. So whatever those thoughts are that come up that we tend to push back down, let them come up. Let them come to the surface. Write them down. Everything's on the table this month. Everything's up for consideration. Everything is up for consideration. That's what we're going to have to make some tough choices about what's really important to us and what sort of changes we may need to make so that we're living more authentically and happier. In the home life, we have another card of balance, the Six of Gardens, the Six of Discs, giving and receiving, giving and taking and giving. And you also have the Two of Cups. So for some of you, it may be that you've met someone and it's a game changer because it's like opened your eyes to what's really important in life. Or you've just met someone. It doesn't have to be a romantic person that is inspiring you to live more authentically and more balanced. And so, accept help and thoughts and ideas and inspiration if it comes your way, and vice versa. Maybe you can sit down with a friend and say, I need someone to help me work through what I think is important, what's truly important in my life, really quantify it, and see if I'm really, what the big chunks that aren't going through the sifter are, and if those are what I really think is important. And it may be helpful to come together with someone else, and you can both help each other really work through this. Maybe I'll try to do a video on that. And figure out what that is so we can bring more balance into our lives. Now, in the relationship category, you do have Judgment, an awakening, and Temperance, more balance. So, do you have a balanced relationship? And if you don't, why not? Have you not been putting the energy in? Has the other person? Are you going to awaken and suddenly say, I'm with my soulmate and I have been taking them for granted? Or I've been taken for granted and I'm not happy. This relationship, we've changed. I'm a different person now. Different things matter to me and this isn't working for me anymore. And I need to release that person because it's not fair to them if I'm not happy, and vice versa. because I want a relationship that truly fulfills me and matches my priorities in life. And once these themes that are coming out, once you've had these realizations, everything is up for examination, and things cannot continue the way they are. This is a complete awakening, a complete rebirth, a complete change in how you live your life. It could be more internal than external, but it could also be external as well. But then it's all sort of based around these spiritual cards of the star, of healing, of hope, of wanting to have a happy, safe, fulfilling life, that you're really following your own star, your own hope. What are your hopes, not fears, hopes, wishes, dreams? Did you leave those back in childhood? What happened to those? Life's very short. I work in oncology. It's very short. There's no guarantees. So it's really time to examine things and have faith and step out and start your journey in life. Because I feel like sometimes I feel this way about myself. Like, I stopped my journey a long time ago. And why is that? Sure, there's a million different excuses, but there's no true reason for me to just stop living. And there's some parts of my life I am on this journey, and some that I'm completely stagnant and kind of forgotten about. So time to take those things off the shelf and dust them off and try to get as many areas going. And it could be that one area has stalled the rest of them. So make sure that, you didn't leave your hopes and these hopes and dreams and desires way back in childhood, and figure out how to simplify things and figure out what your priority is, and how to live life with more balance, so you're not just working all the time or just sort of going through the motions, that you're really living life authentically for you as the individual that you are. So I'm going to leave it there, Aries, and it looks like it's going to be an amazing, transformative month for pretty much everyone. So let me know how it goes. I hope it's absolutely wonderful for you. Take care.